broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
There it is. Thank you, everyone for joining us here at AfterBuzzTV.com for AfterBuzz TV's Mr. Robot After Show. Season 1, Episode 7.
Yes.
8. Oh, sorry, I'm in the past.
Yeah, 1-7.
1-7, Episode 8, White Rose. I'm your host, Steve Kaufmann. That's at Steve Kaufmann, Kaufmann. If you're listening to my voice live on the YouTube, thank you for staying up with us. I know the show before us bumped us a little. That happens sometimes.
Damn it, Nick Lachey.
I know, Nick Lachey.
I can't even.
How can you argue? He was a part of Backstreet Boys.
We could argue. That's a whole other show.
Yeah.
98 degrees.
I'll be checking into the chat periodically, and there's actually 3 laptops at this table, so most of us are in the chat.
I'm somewhat in the chat, but I'm a little bit against the computer right now.
Got it.
And what is your name?
My name is Stef Z. You guys can tweet me. I'll respond at IAMSTEFZ. Woo!
Hey guys.
Great song.
I know. Great song. Thorns. Hey guys, I'm Ashley. You guys can find me on Twitter, Ashley_Chatman. Thanks for joining us tonight.
All right, first off, rule number 1 of Mr. Robot. It is not Fight Club. After what we saw tonight.
There are no rules then.
That's not necessarily true.
You're still okay?
I'm still holding out.
Come on! Let it go.
That's our first topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
First off, hey, what's up, guys? JC Rubio, and quick shout out to everyone on the chat roll: Jacob Dot, Tickled Lady, Mr. Roby 2468, the Howling Fantods. Hello, welcome, fans, and let us know what you think as well.
Yeah, he is having a brain fart. His brain fart kind of caught me for a second, where I'm like, wait, what are we?
This is why I don't have my computer.
What are we doing?
What are our thoughts?
Oh man, first off, this episode pivotal to everything we've been building towards.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because these things would not be as strong if they happened week 3.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have a lot of time to meld in and think you know who everyone is.
And there's still so much for us to learn too. You know, I think that we got a great taste tonight, which I was glad that we did get a great taste, but I still feel like there's so much more.
Would you say that now the journey begins?
The journey began.
It began.
We just know that we're heading west.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't know exactly where we're going yet, but I feel like we have, which I really like. I like that they gave us enough. This series could have very easily left us hanging till the end, and but they're and I feel like it's because there's such a buildup and there's so much to reveal.
Yeah.
There's so much intertwined that it's okay that they give us tidbits of information that are good information, and we still don't exactly know what's going on.
Yeah.
But they gave us good nibbits.
And the storytelling is so good that, literally this could have been held off till season 2. I'm happy it isn't. I'm happy we just keep moving forward with the story, but the characters are so well done.
One of the best episodes of TV I have seen in a really, really long time.
This was your favorite episode of the series?
Are you kidding me? Everything that just... I'm mind blown by everything that's going on.
You're just now mind blown?
Well, episode 6 was fantastic. Everything has been great, but tonight... Okay, so let's see. Elliot's dad is Mr. Robot. Darlene is his sister.
We kind of knew that, though, the dad.
Did we?
I'm sorry. First episode, we were saying that.
There's more to this. He deleted his past to reset his life?
Right, but...
I mean, all of that.
He probably did something bad. Maybe he killed his father.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, let's...
Okay, to just get into it. A lot happens that we are going to get to, but we obviously have to talk about this first.
Right.
Elliot, Darlene, they're talking. She says she loves him.
Family affair.
He goes in for a kiss that, to us at the moment... felt
Appropriate
appropriate.
So you guys felt the sexual tension since we didn't know what it was?
Yeah, I felt like he was going to go in for the kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I felt like she was almost setting him up for that.
Yeah,
like, I get that. I mean, I get that. Like, I have a brother, and I tell him I love him, but there's never an intimate, close... Like, that moment was intimate. It wasn't just a bonding...
But if we would have known that Darlene was his sister from the get, would we have thought that?
No.
Exactly.
But it's important.
Oh, maybe.
And the thing is, she said, did you forget who I am again? So I would be very cautious. If I had a brother who I knew forgot who I was, I'd be very cautious, be like, hey, you remember who I am today, And like you were saying, not having those really close, intimate moments, like just continuing checking in just to make sure that he knows who I am. And up until this time, I mean, every single time they've had an interaction with each other, it makes more sense now, kind of like, not sibling rivalries, but you know how brothers and sisters, they sort of fight. They butt heads.
Well, she gave him a lot throughout the whole season. She's been like real sassy to him in a sense. And we always thought of it as her character.
She's been very close for what felt like no reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And
I'm
now
happy we got the reason. This episode opens with Darlene and Angela interacting for the first time, for the very first time in the whole series.
From what we think is the
and it seemed way too familiar.
And who caught the nod to Aronofsky's Black Swan?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All the way up. So we just gonna have to dive right in. Okay.
Wait, go ahead.
Elliot pretty much bottoms out, realizing that Darlene is his sister. Because he forgot again. And then he bottoms out, he looks around, he tries to hack himself, he tries to go through the motions and figure out who he is, and then he finds a blank CD, and it has all these pictures of who's presumably his father. It could be a stepfather, but presumably a father, and that father is Christian Slater. That father is who we know as Mr. Robot.
I just think it's interesting that we found out that these characters, they have a deep past with each other, and so far up until this episode, they've seemed so distant, you know what I mean? And I personally, I like that this kind of gave me a little bit of insight into the condition that Elliot might have. Something might have happened to him when he was younger, but, I was thinking maybe more like multiple personality disorder, but it could have been an accident that he had, and now he has long-term memory loss or short-term.
Or it's just he had some type of serious trauma when he was 8, because they keep going back to when he was 8. He had some type of serious trauma when he was 8 that he keeps repressing all the way to the memories of who it is. Elliot might not be his name.
But then what else is it that he's erased now? So now it's like it's opened up a whole new
There's got to be some
dynamic.
I don't know, and I know I sometimes say really skewed things, but I feel like there's got to be some type of tie from Elliot and his dad. His dad, we know, used to work at Evil Corp. Maybe his dad was somewhat responsible for Angela's mom. Like, there's some world of intertwine there, because it's like, Angela and Darlene have this familiar feeling, but do you guys buy that they knew do you buy that Angela knows Darlene is related to Elliot?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But then why has that never come up? But why has it never come up when Elliot's been going to All Safe, or Angela used to work there and Darlene would never Angela was never involved when Darlene was talking about All Safe or anything your sister.
I feel like that's part of what F Society is.
Yeah.
That that's his sister, and he's not even supposed to have her phone number. But that's what F Society means and how they operate.
Family society?
family society.
That would
be kind of terrible, maybe.
If they're all somehow related. I don't buy that.
Modern family society coming soon.
I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of crazy that they all have those same skill set.
Okay.
But we're seeing everything from Elliot's perspective.
Right.
We're in his head, or at least now we sort of came out of his head today in this episode. So, I mean, we could have very well have heard, Angela mentioned Darlene, or Darlene mentioned something about being his sister, and he just completely changed it, in his mind, or what they said, he changed exactly what they said so that we didn't necessarily know it or hear it.
Yeah, which is very interesting, too, if you think about what Angela said to Elliot in this episode. I'm really sad that I have to miss you, or whatever she said. I don't know the verbatim. But she thought she was never going to have to miss him. And they've known each other from childhood. So if they knew each other from childhood, if he had some type of disease or this, that, and the other thing where he forgot people, wouldn't she know about that?
Wouldn't Angela know about that?
Yeah.
She might.
She probably.
But then why would she, then I don't think she would say that she, like, then I feel like she would be scared. Like, if she knew that Elliot forgot his sister, she would be scared that he would forget her as well.
It seems like she just doesn't know. But I think we have to get to the Mr. Robot Fight Club theory again, which kind of derailed us on the first episode, and we're kind of back there.
They did it on purpose.
Do we think Mr. Robot is his father, and his father is an actual person?
I do. No.
I do too. I
don't think he's alive though.
I think he's alive, and I feel like he had to. It's like a fake death identity reboot, something to get back at Evil Corp.
I think it's a manifestation. I think Mr. Robot is his father, but it's ultimately Tyler Durden. It's ultimately Elliot's manifestation.
Because there's no pictures of them after the age of 8.
Yeah.
And where's the mom?
The mom died. Don't we know the mom died?
No.
Yeah.
We don't know the mom died?
No, the mom was alive after the dad died.
The mom's away. That's all we've heard throughout the series.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know she's not dead.
Something happened when this kid was 8 that made everything.
Maybe he killed his mom. I feel like he killed somebody.
That seems... Yeah, that he went to a really dark place, and that he's locked it away in his mind.
Yeah, and it's almost like... I don't feel like it's as much as he has a disorder, as much as there's an event that he just doesn't remember. And maybe that's why he has to go to therapy to, like, try and whip it out of him. Maybe he's been... Maybe there was an accident. I don't know. Like, there's something. Like, this all rings back to why he was told he has to go to therapy because of this. I mean, maybe he killed somebody and he had to go to therapy instead of going to jail or something.
Well, go with what the Howling Fantod said. He's not alive because he shows up at the door as soon as he finds the pictures.
Yes, thank you. But that's too convenient.
Well, no, because Darlene could have very well just went and told him, like, hey, like, it wasn't like Darlene told him and, like, he was figuring, there was time lapse in between that, that Darlene could have been like, yo, Elliot's on to us, go talk to him. Like, that would happen, even if he was alive or not, in any television show, it would happen that timing, I think.
Without getting completely derailed, are we split on this? JC and I think that think that Mr. Robot is still a manifestation.
I still need more intel.
We still need more.
We need more.
I only battled with it just because I feel like he hasn't aged since the pictures. It could just be,
See, I feel like he has. I feel like he looks a little bit more scruffy, a little bit more gray. Like, I felt like he looked more young and fresh in the pictures. Christian Slater.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm staying with the Fight Club theory for now. Like, it seems too... Because all of Mr. Robot's scenes seem too planted still. And then the Tyrell scene in particular, which have we covered Elliot, Darlene, Mr. Robot? Because we could go in circles.
I mean, I feel like, to be 100% honest, I feel like we need to go rewatch every freaking episode.
Yeah.
I know.
We don't have the time. But to get to Tyrell...
Right.
And this will be our segue. Tyrell is in a car with Mr. Robot saying, you guys are planning a hack. I want in. And you have notes.
I do have a note because there was something said between them that actually...
Yes, and then there was something said between Tyrell and Joanna.
About his secret, about giving up the secret.
Yeah, he said he knows a secret about him. And so maybe the secret about him is that he's really alive.
No, in a sense, it almost seems to me that Elliot's some sort of chosen one type. And,
yes,
and I don't want I have.
But
this
Tyrell has interacted with Elliot one-on-one and Mr. Robot.
Yeah. Yes.
So they're two different.
Tyrell's playing a long game.
But in the very next scene, Tyrell's talking to Joanna, and he says, "A couple months ago, I found someone who infected a server, and found an opportunity, infected a server. I later found out that their reasoning was revenge, and I held on to this person." And he kept talking about this person in the exact context of he was just talking to this person.
But that person that planted that was Mr. Robot.
But I think it was also Elliot. Because
when Elliot got there to Texas, it was already there.
But in the Steel Mountain episode, he finds out Elliot's motives were revenge. They're playing with it. We don't want to go too far off track here.
Right.
But there's a case for both sides. I'm on the Fight Club side. And
I'm not. I feel like that this show is not gonna reciprocate something like this show is so great.
Yeah.
Fight Club, great, got it. But this show is gonna twist it and make it its own kind of.
This is very different, and I personally felt like Tyrell's interaction with Mr. Robot very different from his interactions with Elliot in the past. You know, in the past, Tyrell, he's been very like domineering and, you know, kind of like in your face. But with Mr. Robot, you know, you could tell there was a bit of a panic there. Like he really, really needed Mr. Robot, and I haven't seen that dynamic between them before. So that just leads me to believe that these are two separate people.
Tyrell
and that he's a lot.
It was just on edge the whole episode, though.
Tyrell is losing his freaking mind.
yeah. Oh, I love Crazy Tyrell because at the end of last week, he killed a lady.
Yeah.
Just choked her to death on the roof of his building and then left her there.
Yeah. The most interesting thing to me about the murder of, what was her name? Sharon Knowles?
Yeah.
I feel like is the fact that Crazy Psycho's wife, who clearly wears the pants in the relationship, Tyrell's wife, totally stuck up for him when the cops came.
Oh, yeah.
She did.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well,
Right, but in a way where, like, she went to the extent.
But that was what Joanna had to do.
Well, while we were screening it, we were like, is she going to poison him? Like, there was just, like, a craziness of, like, what's going to happen.
I thought poison them.
Yeah.
I also, I've never met a cop who liked herbal tea.
Yeah,
It's just a nice touch. This is an uptown cop.
Yeah.
People like to be calmed down when they're questioning, you know.
That's fair. That's definitely fair.
Aromatherapy.
No, and give it up to, I don't know if did you guys notice what was playing on? There were a lot of little, I don't want to call them Easter eggs, but there was a lot of stuff going on besides what we were focusing on in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
Even when the PD came in, they had the replay of the Boston bomber going on in the background.
This is a rewatch for sure.
Yeah.
All 10 of these episodes. I'm gonna wait because there are a lot of people online saying now like, oh, I have to go rewatch from now, and I'm like, I think they're gonna drop a lot more on us in the next 2 weeks. We should just hold off.
Right, but you can process that.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try and rewatch before next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're getting with Tyrell and Joanna. And what does he mean by he sees God?
I don't know what he means by that. Or he says that he reports to God. God is above, and that's
because we were just looking at what's ahead and not what's above. The bigger plan, big. That's like they keep saying. We still don't know the whole scope of this show. We don't.
We don't even know the scope of Joanna and Tyrell's plan. You know what I mean?
Well, not to jump ahead, but we saw in the preview for next week, we saw a newborn baby.
Yeah.
So she might have that baby.
I mean, are we seeing a parallel to like what happened in? Wasn't Elliot's father the CTO as well of Evil Corp?
I don't believe he was a CTO.
He worked at. He was. I thought they said he was the best tech.
He was, but he just was a tech.
He wasn't it.
CTO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Forget it. My story just. I was like, well, that CTO, his wife dies. Maybe his wife. That maybe there's a whole parallel universe that they're actually showing us exactly what happened, but not telling us that's what happened.
But Joanna showed her true colors here. That like she'll stick to this guy to the end, and he didn't tell, and Tyrell didn't tell her like, oh, I actually killed her.
Yeah.
Like,
No, he didn't tell her at all. That's what I'm saying. The fact that on the spot, she was like, what am I going to do? My husband's screwed. I'm going to go shove a fork up myself and pop my water, break my water so that I can get these guys out of here and say I'm going into labor?
I wasn't really surprised by
on.
that. Honestly, I wasn't surprised by it. I mean, up until this point, she has been cleaning up his mess.
Right, but she's never cleaned up his mess in a way that hurt herself. Like, that's kind of dangerous to herself. But she's always made it on him or made him look bad or somebody else got dirty. Like, she's never got her hands dirty in order to clean up his mess.
But whatever they're planning, whatever it is that they need, she needs Tyrell for whatever it is that they're doing. And if he goes down for murder, I mean, she could potentially go down, you know, if there was any implication that she knew about it. I mean, there was just a lot of messiness that could come from him getting caught. So, of course, it was an extreme thing to do, but she's been cleaning up his mess all season. And I feel
totally.
like that'd be the best way. I mean, you're a pregnant woman. Like, sometimes you gotta go to that level.
The Howling Fan Todd with a Z. The Howling Fan Todds with a Z. The hackers are like gods because they can control people's lives and change fate. I kind of like that sentiment. That's what he meant by God.
He's playing God. I like that too.
That's not. I figured it out, and it's. I just need I just need hackers. I just need to do completely underhanded things, or let a group of people who are already going to do it. So
is BD Wong God?
No,
yes,
but
we didn't even talk about that.
Wait, we're almost there.
Tyrell, yeah.
Right, wait, yeah. Before Tyrell, so if it's clear that, I mean, Tyrell wants to, there's a bigger plan, clearly, because Tyrell wants to be CTO, but he also knows that Mr. Robot is in on a plan to bring down Evil Corp. So why does he want to be CTO of a company that's going to be brought down?
I think he's losing it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't, there's something else.
No, I think he's in it. He's not necessarily in it to take over Evil Corp as much as he's in it for personal gain.
Right, but what's the personal gain you're going to have of being in charge of a company that goes under?
If you knew Google was going to fail tomorrow, like knew for certain, but you knew it today, that would be, you would be able to, and you were Tyrell Wellick, you'd be able to position yourself to be with the competitor, to be the savior, to be like, you'd be able to put yourself in a better place with that information.
So if they wipe out,
I just wouldn't want to be the guy in charge if I knew I was part of helping take it down.
He's not the CTO.
Right, but that's what he wants to be. He wants, if he successfully becomes the CTO, then he's the guy in charge while it's being taken down by people he knows it's being taken down by.
I'm going to expand on what you just said about knowing beforehand what's going to happen, so he could expand into knowing you're going to level the playing field, change money, move into Bitcoin, move into, he would plan his move. And that's,
but he's not saying that stuff.
He's not saying it, but he
wants to be CTO, and this is like happening like as we speak.
But also, if it's going to happen in 43 hours, I mentioned this last week, now that I know he's not involved, and he's not White Rose, which we will get to White Rose. Chat, we'll calm down, chat, we'll get to White Rose.
Yeah.
He needs that foreknowledge that this will happen and when this will happen and how he can fix it and be the savior. And then not only will he be the CTO, but he'll be the CTO that stopped them from collapsing.
But I don't know, because the wife didn't, Joanna, she didn't seem like she knew about Mr. Robot and F Society's plans. Like, I don't know.
That's why this is the first he's mentioning it to her.
But he seems so dependent, like every single move that they make, it's very dependent on what she says. So I feel like information like that, he would have to reveal that type of information.
Unless Mr. Robot is playing Tyrell and making Tyrell think he's in the loop, but he really has no idea what's going on. And he wants part of the revenge is Tyrell. Part of that, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I feel like there's a lot, which again is amazing because, like we said, they gave us a lot, but it's still a very thick plot.
Yeah.
And we haven't even gotten to what we've been talking about for weeks.
Yes, we haven't even gotten to the title of the episode. Like these two things were more pressing to us. That we're to the the plot, the F Society plot, and White Rose.
Oh my
White
God.
Rose. So it opens. The episode opens with Lloyd. Well, actually, we'll start here. All of us had a prediction for who White Rose would be.
Yes.
None of us were. Well, I guess those of us who said it would be someone we haven't met yet.
Yeah.
Those people were correct. I did not say that. I thought it was Joanna. JC thought it was Lloyd.
Yeah, which was very interesting.
I would love that.
It was very interesting that we started seeing texts from Lloyd when you said it. Like Lloyd came out of nowhere again, and I was like, "How did you know?" I thought some fan spoiled you.
No, that was sent to me. Actually, no, that was a fan's input. She thought it was Lloyd, and it kind of made sense at the time. But like I said, I'd been reading on the blogs that their theory was it was someone we had yet to meet, and by it being freaking freaking Wong, I'm going to shoot myself. I'm going to shoot myself. I had a chance to talk to him. Like I was at the Jurassic World premiere, and sitting right next to me, and I was like, it's an awesome fan, and I'm sure not a lot of people know about BD Wong, and I'm like, who'd have thunk that he's going to be in such a position for the show? I want to kick myself in the butt right now over this. But here's the thing that a fan brought up. Do you think it's just a one and done?
Possibly.
BD Wong?
I mean,
White Rose?
White Rose made it pretty clear in this entire scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. You got 3 minutes.
You have 3 minutes with me, and you will never see me again.
Yeah.
And you were lucky to have them.
And it's kind of funny too, because I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, Love BD Wong. No disrespect there. But I kind of wanted it to be someone we knew because I feel like there's some type of emotion behind that where you almost feel fooled. Like, it was great and it was well played and it was a great scene. But I just thought, you know what I mean? Like,
it's more of a payoff.
Yeah, I kind of felt like it would be like, oh my God, because then you know someone's been dirty or like in cahoots the whole time, and then we would have been fooled. But I kind of like being fooled.
I think that's sort of the Sam Esmail way. He doesn't want to do things conventionally. He doesn't want us to think in our normal TV minds. He wants to just throw in a wrench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I felt like it was appropriate, and it just goes in line with everything else that he's done with other characters and with other plot lines in the show. I liked it.
Well, but it's interesting because even with that, it actually completely balances it because it's the exact opposite with that, how all these characters are now being related. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he's not related, you know, he's balancing that, I think, which is cool. Super cool.
Yeah. I'm liking all this, and we have to... I guess I didn't mention Gideon, but Gideon ties in all this.
Yeah.
Gideon tells Tyrell the DAT file has been mishandled. And because the DAT file has been mishandled, I've created the server as a honeypot. A honeypot, as it sounds like, is essentially a trap, a piece of bait. So someone can go in and then you can catch them.
Yeah.
Because a honeypot, I presume, would have poo would get stuck in the honeypot. We don't need to talk about it much.
We need the poo, not actual poo.
Yes, not actual poo. Completely different. And he tells Tyrell, "This is what I'm doing." Tyrell gets on top of it immediately. Mm-hmm. And while Gideon is saying, "I'm being completely transparent with you," he gets a text from Lloyd at 911. Everything's all safe is being hacked. All safe is being hacked by the Dark Army through the CD that Angela put in Ollie's terminal. And I think Ollie did more stuff. And Ollie's a sales rep. This is the first we've known this is the first we knew Ollie's actual position there. Mm-hmm. Where Ollie's a sales rep, and he got approached by Cisco last week. Cisco got to him, and now Ollie's pretty much taking down All Safe, and then sending Elliot to White Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are the facts.
I'd be interested to hear your guys' take on why White Rose / the Dark Army are now interested in joining back up with F Society. Like, how does this really benefit them? And with BD Wong, White Rose talking about time and how important it is, I mean, this has taken a lot of time, you know? Mm-hmm. So it just seems really interesting. Like, now all of a sudden, there just seems to be just more in it, I think, for the Dark Army, but I'm not really catching what it is and why now all of a sudden they're interested again.
Because Cisco even said that it wasn't a battle for them, really. They didn't really care about their kumbaya.
They don't care about...
Yeah, they don't care...
stuff.
Yeah, they don't care about American debts being erased. Mm-hmm. That's all this is for F Society. Mm-hmm. It's just, they're taking down American debts. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think what... Yeah,
because it has to be something striking for this time-conscious person to finally say, okay, I'm on board, you know, and then it seems like they're just taking a lot of time with it, so there's some give there.
I feel like White Rose also pointed out that Elliot had made some mistakes, so they needed to be fixed. But yeah, I feel like time is an overall theme
for this
of a lot of
episode. But for all of them, but specifically for this episode.
Well, also time specifically in the tick-tock of a clock, and then an old hard drive that actually spins like a clock does. And those are old hard drives, because new hard drives use flash memory that don't have a spindle anymore. Mm-hmm. I just figured that out right now, guys. I'm not that quick.
Steve Kaufmann, everybody.
Yeah. He'll be here all night with us.
I will.
I personally think that it could be a double cross at the end. Maybe I'm being too early with predictions, but you know, maybe something might go wrong with the hack, and we find out that Dark Army set something up to make it fail, or I don't know, but it just seems really suspicious. Like, now all of a sudden they seem very interested in going forward with this when they
they were gonna do it in the beginning, and then they backed out last minute because they found out that Elliot did something wrong. So I don't think that their
or that White Rose said too. I thought it was that White Rose said to back out.
Yeah, somebody, the Dark Army backed out anyway with Slice It. I believe Cisco told Darlene that. That's how we figured that out. But I feel like they were, I don't personally feel like that was a complete change of heart type thing.
Dark Army pulled out because of the honeypot. Thank you. That's 8 or 9 ends, one of which is capitalized.
Yeah. So they were in, and then they saw something that Elliot didn't see and was like, you didn't even realize there was a honeypot, so we're going to pull out, but you need to get it together. But I feel like they were always on board with this plan to take down this big corporation. I feel like that's what a lot of...
Because the honeypot...
When you think about Anonymous and when you think about all like those types of hacking groups or whatever you want to call them, I feel like that's a lot of the stuff that they kind of are into.
But I thought that the honeypot was in all safe servers.
No, all
it's
safe.
In Evil Corp servers too.
All safe is security for Evil Corp, so it's technically Evil Corp servers.
Okay,
but because the Dark Army got into all safe, they got to see the Evil Corp server in Dulce. And and they turned that one into a honeypot. Dark Army saw that and backed out.
So does it, right? I hate to jump a little bit, or just segue into. So is Elliot out of Allsafe? Because he said it himself.
He said he's done. He's completely done.
Yeah, I mean that's what he says.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Who knows if he'll come back? And I honestly too think now that we're talking about the whole White Rose thing, I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like the fact that there was such a point about you won't see me again, that somehow we're gonna see.
That he's gonna have to come back
for some reason, or there's gonna be some other tie.
And it's BD Wong.
Yeah,
it's BD Wong.
Nobody signs BD Wong one episode.
Right.
Yeah, you get a 3-minute monologue and that's it, and you're done.
Although that might be the only way you get BD Wong. You either get him for 3 episodes or 3 minutes. It's in his rider.
He's like, no, I literally don't have time. I'm on my way to another show. So
I'm on my way to Jurassic Universe.
Okay, so then just going on that same point with Gideon and Elliot, so then do you think that Elliot is leaving, or is Gideon going to? Because I feel like even now more than ever, Gideon is just the utmost suspicious.
Gideon and Allsafe. And Elliot said that Gideon is, I looked into him and he's just a good, honest man.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason he needs to leave. That's part of the reason Elliot needs to leave, because he can't infect a good, honest man who's just trying to keep a company and a bunch of people jobs.
But with the requests like that he sent through Gideon's emails, is that something where they will respond and say like, hey, we've taken down the honeypot, so... is there
I think they did respond. I think it said it was like
done. What happened? But like it looked like it looked like an automation.
Yeah,
it wasn't an email. That's.
Because is there a way for him to get a notification that it's?
I'm sure he would turn the notification. I'm sure Elliot would turn the notification off.
Yeah.
I would hope.
But with Gideon being so suspicious, and with this whole hack that just happened, I feel like he would be even more so cautious and just triple check everything.
Poor Gideon.
I think Gideon. Yeah. Well, we're not going to see the last of Gideon for sure.
Yeah.
And I think Gideon might find out Elliot, but what can Gideon do once he finds out? If Elliot's gone, and already pretty deep into everything.
And we see Gideon, a little flash of Gideon for next week too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We'll see.
And it doesn't look like he's at Allsafe.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it looks like he's like maybe at Elliot's or something. I saw like the brick wall behind him. So,
all right.
Cows.
Have we covered everything?
We covered it all. We're ready
fast.
We're ready for predictions, guys.
Yeah.
Predictions.
I'm not ready.
I mean, the show is ready.
Mark Donica, can you get us like a dartboard where we can put like theories and we can just throw a dart at it to figure out? And one of them's bound to be right because
consider it done.
Yes.
Yes, we forgot to say hello to Mark Donica. Thank you for running the 1s and 2s, sir.
Cheers, everybody.
I was trying to mix yes with engineer. Yes and engineer. Yes, engineer. Our yes engineer, Mark Donica.
Yes.
He's awesome.
What you got?
Nothing. You kidding me?
You gotta have something.
Why do I have an episode?
You can be wrong. You don't have to be right.
It's clearly.
I know.
I have nowhere to go. Honestly, all we know is that Elliot is now freaking out beyond belief, and his only solace is Angela.
Right.
That's who he hides behind. So I don't know. We've got 48 hours to figure out this stuff goes down with the bringing down of Evil Corp, and I honestly do not have a clue.
Do you think they're going to find out that Tyrell killed Sharon?
No.
Do you think that plays at all? Any importance?
I think they might get close, but I think ultimately Joanna is going to come in and she's going to save the day again.
Yeah, okay. Joanna's got a lot. Yeah. Joanna's got a lot of pull, and if even a haphazard Joanna plan is still probably better than most plans.
Yeah, and she's got a lot riding on this, so she's just not.
She's just literally going to have a baby to get her son to get her husband out of a murder charge.
Yeah. I think we'll find out more, obviously, about Elliot's past and Mr. Robot being his dad, Darlene being his sister, and maybe even possibly about what happened to the mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important. That's the missing link here.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to find that out. I'm still going to predict that Mr. Robot was, because of the fact where we see in the preview where Elliot was said, "Why didn't you tell me?" makes me think that Mr. Robot, Elliot's father, is alive, and there was a fake death. There was something.
Yeah, that might be the secret.
I'm gonna stay in that he's alive.
Yeah. Okay, I think next week we'll cover the next 43 hours, including the hack if the hack goes down.
Right.
I think Mr. Robot is a manifestation of Elliot's imagination, the Tyler Durden theory. I think Darlene's obviously his sister. I think at some point we're going to realize that everyone in F Society is his direct family.
Romero? Family reunion.
I think somehow we're going to realize that like they're all related way closer.
Family society.
Because they seemed like this mismatch of people that they might actually just be like pretty closely related to each other.
But then that breaks the whole theory of, we can't meet and interact with each other. It's like, you're my cousin. Like, how am I not going to see you or talk to you? You know what I mean? And
Tyrell. And I guess my last theory is that the hack will go through. All of America's debts will be wiped, and Tyrell will have something up his sleeve to save like some type of, oh no, you can do this, and then the data, like he'll have a backdoor into that server to come back and then have a restore, or Tyrell will have something that he can be the savior and ride into town as CTO, as a savior.
And then I'm going to predict that someone's going to do a copycat and hack the world, and no one will have debt. That'd be cool.
Let's do it.
Can you please?
Sally Mae is on yes, please. Cancel it out, Elliot.
Speaking of people with the technical prowess, if you have the technical prowess to up our iTunes ratings, just go for it.
Do it.
Better yet, you all have that technical prowess. All you have to do is go on iTunes, give us a rating, any rating you want. We prefer 5 stars. And then write a review, say how you feel about this show. And that helps us get more visibility. So if you type in Mr. Robot podcast, we'd be the first thing that comes up. If you type in Mr. Robot in iTunes, it gives us that, okay, that happened. And it'll give us that visibility, and that helps us get guests, and that helps the show that you like grow to be a show more people like. So like us, share, rate, subscribe, tweet at us, all the things. He hacked his own son for revenge on Evil Corpse, yo. Sean Pham said that.
I like where your head's at, Sean.
It was the predictions point. Yeah. If people want to say things like that to you, starting with Stef Z, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on all social media at IAMSTEFZ. Keep the conversation going.
Hey guys, you can find me on Twitter, Ashley_Chatman. Thanks for tuning in, and please cancel out my Sally Mae.
Hey guys, and also be sure I'm actually doing a little blab about kind of Mr. Robot and some other stuff tomorrow evening. So follow me at JC Rubio TV, where we kind of break it down, because I'm still digesting all of this at JC Rubio TV on Twitter.
And you guys can find me at Steve Kaufmann. That is KAUFMANN. I cover this show. I cover Suits. I cover wrestling pay-per-views. Starting in the fall, I'm going to cover 4 more shows. I'm going a little crazy right now. And I'll be tweeting about those things all the time, so you can follow me there. And thank you guys for joining us. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.